We've reduced this by half, and what we're going to do is now pour this in with our bones and our vegetables. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually fill enough water, and it's got to be a minimum of 6 quarts, but we're going to put enough water that it covers the bone and the vegetable mixture. All right, now as we bring it to a boil and while we're cooking our stuff, you'll notice that there will be a foam that starts to form on top. You want to, with a slotted spoon, go ahead and keep scooping off this foam. Now we'll be cooking this for 3 hours at a real low simmer, just barely having the bubbles break the surface. Now this is already coming up to a boil, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn it way down. Now you're going to watch it because you want it to boil, but you don't want it to be in a rolling boil. We want it to be a simmering boil. What you're going to do is you're going to take the herbs that we tied up in the cheesecloth earlier, and we're going to go ahead and put this into the stock. Now some people call this a bouquet garni, but I just call it herbs wrapped up in a cheesecloth. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and set that in the pot like so. And as you can see, it's at a real low boil, just breaking the bubbles. We're going to cook this for 3 hours at this temperature. Now, if your liquid drops below your bone line, if you can see the bones on top, you'll want to go ahead and add more water. But other than that, we'll go ahead and let this cook down for 3 hours. Remember when I told you that there would be a thin skin that would form and that you'd want to take that off? Well, this is what you do, is you just skim it off the top like that and get rid of it. And all that is just a little bit of extra fat. But, you know, if you've got more on there, you can go ahead and take that off. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually strain this and discard all the bones, the meat, and the vegetables, so all we have is broth. All right, we have strained our broth and we've taken out our bones and all of our meat, and we are left with just pure, delicious beef broth. Now, what you'll do is you'll actually put this in the refrigerator and let it cool down. Then what you'll do is you can either separate it in containers, and if you do that, you'll want to go ahead and leave on the little fatty top that forms after it cools. And the reason why is it just kind of seals in the broth flavors. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take this and put it in containers and put it in the freezer. That way, as you're making your Vietnamese soup, you can just take out what you need and have the rest for later.